Have you ever wondered why some Linux users swear by Debian, while others are running enterprise server distros like Alma Linux or Rocky Linux on their personal desktops? Or why anyone would choose Gentoo when easier options exist? Today, we're exploring the real reasons behind these choices. And trust me, they're more logical than you might think. Let's start with the most popular philosophy: stability and reliability. Debian users are the gold standard here. Their main reason: it works, and they don't have to touch it for years. No constant updates, no breaking changes, just a solid foundation that stays out of your way. Long-time Linux users often describe Debian as the perfect balance. It respects the Linux, Unix, and new philosophies without trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not flashy, it's not cutting edge, but it's the rock-solid heartbeat that's always consistent and reliable. Linux Mint users share this philosophy. They want to spend time actually using their computer, not constantly tinkering or fixing things. For them, the operating system should be invisible, just a platform to run their applications. This mindset is refreshing in a community known for endless customization. Sometimes your computer needs to be a tool, not a hobby project. On the opposite end, we have users who want the newest packages the moment they're released. *OpenNSUSKESK is the champion of this category. It's a stable, rolling release with the newest possible packages. Simple tools for adding third-party repositories, and built-in snapshot features that let you roll back if something breaks. Users describe it as addictive. Once you experience this combination of bleeding edge and stability, there's no going back. Arch Linux users have a similar mindset, but with different priorities. Many chose Arch because they wanted to understand how a Linux system actually works from the ground up. The hands-on installation process teaches you about partitioning, bootloaders, and system architecture. Gamers particularly love Arch because fast updates mean getting the latest GPU drivers, kernel improvements, and gaming tools immediately. The Arch user repository is massive, giving access to almost any software you can imagine. The bleeding edge crowd isn't reckless. They just value having the latest features and fixes more than they fear potential instability. Now here's the answer to that Alma Linux and Rocky Linux desktop question. Professional users often run enterprise distributions on their desktops because their software requires it. CG artists working with Maya, Nuke, or Houdini need RPM-based distributions because that's what these professional applications are built and tested for. In a professional environment, you can't waste time with hacks and workarounds. When you're on a deadline and your client is waiting, you need software that just runs. This is why you'll see motion graphics, artists, VFX professionals, and 3D animators running Fedora, Rocky, or Alma Linux on their workstations. Fedora is particularly popular in professional workflows. It offers newer packages than our HEL-based systems while maintaining enterprise-level stability. Many developers and creative professionals choose Fedora because their tools are officially supported and tested on it. This isn't about preference or philosophy, it's about business continuity. When your income depends on your tools working reliably every single day, you choose the distribution your software vendors officially support. Then we have users running truly advanced distributions like NixOS and Gentoo. NixOS users want something revolutionary: declarative configuration. They define their entire system in code files, version control everything with Git, and can reproduce their exact setup on any machine instantly. If something breaks, they roll back to a previous configuration in seconds. It combines the stability of immutable systems with complete configurability. EndeavourOS attracts users who want Arch Linux, but appreciate some quality of life improvements out of the box. It's essentially Arch with a helpful installer and pre-configured desktop environments, saving time while maintaining full Arch flexibility. Gentoo users want ultimate control. They compile everything from source code, optimizing for their specific hardware. Yes, compiling large applications takes hours. That's the point. Every piece of software is built exactly for their system, with their chosen features and optimizations. These aren't beginners. These are power users who've mastered Linux and want systems that match their exact requirements, even if it means investing significant time in configuration. Sometimes the reasons are beautifully simple. Kubuntu users often have one reason. They love the KDE Plasma desktop environment. Kubuntu gives them Plasma with Ubuntu's ease of use and massive software repository. Why complicate things? Some users switched from Ubuntu to Debian just to avoid snap packages, preferring traditional package management. Others chose their distribution simply because it looked nice or came recommended by a friend. These simple reasons are just as valid as complex technical explanations. If a distribution makes you happy and lets you work productively, you've made the right choice. A growing trend is atomic or immutable distributions like Fedora, Silverblue, Bluefin, and others. These users want to stop thinking about their base operating system entirely. Atomic distributions separate the system layer from applications and user data. The base system updates atomically. It either completely succeeds or completely fails, with automatic rollback if problems occur. This appeals to developers and professionals who want rock-solid stability without sacrificing modern packages. They can focus on their work and applications instead of system maintenance. It's a fundamental shift from traditional Linux philosophy. And while controversial, it's gaining serious traction among users who value reliability over unlimited tinkering. Many Linux users went through extensive distribution hopping before finding their home. They tried Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, Arch, Manjaro, and dozens of others. Each distribution taught them something about their own priorities and preferences. Some eventually landed on OpenSUSE Tumbleweed because it perfectly balanced their needs. Others found Manjaro provided reliability with easy fixes when things broke. Some discovered Endeavoros gave them Arch benefits without the installation hassle. Distribution hopping isn't wasted time, it's education. You learn what matters to you. Stability versus cutting-edge packages, simplicity versus control, community support versus official documentation. So what have we learned? Linux users choose their distributions for incredibly diverse reasons. Rock-solid stability, bleeding-edge packages, professional software requirements, ultimate configurability, desktop environment preferences, or simply because it works for them. The beauty of Linux is that there's no wrong answer. That enterprise distribution on a gaming desktop, it makes perfect sense when you understand the user's workflow. Gentoo for daily use, absolutely valid if you value that control. Debian because it's reliable and boring. Sometimes boring is exactly what you need. The best Linux distribution is simply the one that matches your specific needs, workflow, and values. Whether you reteam it just works or I compiled my kernel with custom flags at 3 a.m. You're part of what makes Linux amazing true choice backed by real reasoning. The question isn't which distribution is objectively best. The question is, what do you need from your operating system? Answer that honestly, and you'll find your perfect Linux distribution.